All right, fishing friends, just got back from the post office. I've got a box, as the title ensued. This is a surprise box, and I'll tell you more, but first off, you ready, Stubby Dog? Okay, you can come on, let's go. Good boy. So we're gonna do a special little surprise unboxing. I've got some more information behind that, but first we gotta get in. Now, he's such a gentleman, watch. I won't even have to tell him, I can already do it. If you want your leash off, I knew it. What a good boy you are. Such a nice, well-mannered little gentleman. But this should be kind of a fun unboxing because I have no clue what is in this box. Yes, Burly reached out to me, Burly's Fishing. If you've watched him, he does a number of unboxings. I was on his podcast a while back. Super nice guy. He reached out and said, hey, let's do a surprise unboxing. I'll spend 50 bucks on you and send it to you, a box. I'll spend 50 bucks on him and send it, so that's what we're doing. So let's get this over there and do the unboxing. Okay, so the box. Now, Burly sent this. I thought it was a fun idea, you know. Let's send each other a surprise box. It's kind of a new, fun, different spin on unboxings because, you know, when I get stuff, obviously I know what I'm getting and I kind of walk you guys through what I got and why I got it. I have no clue what's in here. Now, he kind of chuckled. We talked the other day on the phone to make sure everything was good because we've actually got a few fun questions to throw in here too, but he kind of chuckled and said, you're either really gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. So I don't know. As you can see here, it's not opened up, so let's get in here and see what we got. I'm honestly excited. This is like being a kid at Christmas all again, knowing you're getting fish and stuff, but not exactly what. So I'm interested, Burly. What'd you do? Okay, I'm not even gonna look at the slip. I'm gonna start taking stuff out. Okay, so the first thing in here, the Boyd Duckett BD Water Slash. Okay, I dig that. White and chartreuse, gold blades. Obviously, I'm a huge spinnerbait guy. What is this, 3/8, which is usually what I throw, especially with spring coming up. That'll definitely do some work. Now, I notice it does have kind of a small hook on it, so a little bit smaller hook than I'm used to on spinnerbaits. This really is more of a finesse spinnerbait. I like it. You don't need, you know, a big, huge spinnerbait to catch fish. You can even put like a little tiny grub, curly tail grub on here. I like it. I guarantee that will catch some pond bass, some of the small lakes around here. A little finesse spinnerbait like this does well, and I think that might be where some guys get kind of thrown off at spinnerbaits is some of them out there, you know, the blade, one blade might be this big, and I forget which way the blade sizes go, but again, a little bit smaller, more compact spinnerbait. I know Ray Dizzle kind of likes the smaller compact spinnerbait deal, like the War Eagle Finesse. I know is a big one for him, but looks good. Looks like it'll definitely catch some fish. So first one, I'm digging that. And is that even a hand-tied skirt? Yeah, it does. Even has a hand-tied skirt on it. Cool, I dig it. Next in here, Brian Schmidt Baits Finesse Football Jig. Never heard of it. It looks pretty sweet though. 3/8 green pumpkin chartreuse. Okay, so taking this out, oh, I like it. This kind of reminds me of Epic Eric's when I was showing you that shaky worm, the floating shaky worm deal. So it's got like a flat matte finish on the head. I really like that. That's cool. Flat matte finish on the head. Pretty regular type weed guard on there. It is long, so I will trim that, but look at that. You've got the rubber, you've got the, you know, the marabou hairy type stuff there. And when you get something like this wet, it looks really big and bulky, but this hair, like when you get it wet, it really streamlines and straightens down. I like how that skirt is trimmed to a few different lengths. Oh man, I guarantee that will catch some fish this spring. I'm guessing hand-tied. Yep, hand-tied skirt on there. That looks super cool. Very good pick on that, Burly. I like that one. Dragging that off some ledges. This spring, if I get to go out in the boat and do that. Sorry, Stubby Dog's walking across with his feet. Come over here. You had to come check out what we're doing. We're doing an unboxing. You want to see what you think of this? What do you think of this football jig, Stubby? Come here. Tell me what you think of that jig. If you were a fish, no, you can't eat it. You're just supposed to look at it and tell me if you were a fish, would you eat that? Yeah, you like it? Okay. No lies, I really do like that one. That's a sweet pick. Very cool little handmade jig looking deal there. I like that custom kind of different. And I had this conversation with somebody else. They said, well, hair doesn't look natural underwater. You don't see like rats swimming underwater with hair. No, but gills, fins, crawfish tentacles, you know, once you get this hair type stuff down there underwater, it's just got a very natural flow. You know, it goes with the water, it goes with the current. It just looks, you know, it's got its own whole different distinct motion down there. You can't really replicate it, you know, trying to put action into a lure. So that one, love it. And speaking of being on the boat, one of his questions was, Debo, what is your favorite boat snack? For me, trail mix, I'd have to say. Trail mix, it's dry, you take it out of the bag, and then I usually end up eating a whole bag of it in no time. Trail mix. All right, what do we have next? Oh, yes! Okay, Optimum Furbit Series. He threw a frog and I am so glad. He knows that I'm a frogging guy. If I could frog all day, I would. This is in the black ghost color from Optimum. I've never seen this, but holy smokes, it's got a lot going on with it. So we've got fur for the legs instead of like your silicone leg deals. Furry legs. It's got on the bottom a spinner. What in the world were they thinking with this thing? Crazy little design. Hooks are super duper sharp. Look at that, needle sharp. And the body's soft. It does have a very soft body. That's something that I look for. Now the only thing is I don't see, so the body's not going to move out of the way. That's usually one thing I like, is when you can rotate the body around the hook. This is glued to the weight here, so it's got a weight in the butt, so it's probably going to sit butt down, head up. I don't know. That's interesting. Optimum baits, I've honestly never seen this, I don't think. I think I threw one in his box that was kind of a funky frog. I wonder if it was this one. I don't know. I found something fun for his, but dude, the hair on those, look at that. I mean, that looks... Stubby's eyeing it right now, thinking this is like a little gopher or something you can eat, but I mean, look at those go. Those are going to look super natural in the water, like legs. That's cool. I'm excited to throw that one. Great pick on that one, Burly. That's a cool little frog. I like that. Okay, next up we've got a little hard bait action, and this is going to come in handy because, of course, with spring, one of my absolute favorite things to throw is the Lipless, and this is, what color is this? Bad lipstick. That's what it looks like. You got some purple on there, you got some gold on top. Perfect when you've got stained, a little bit dirty water and it's sunny out. That gold does well. It's all about that reflection, you know, when you've got that kind of stained water and it's sunny. Beautiful color there. Let's see, this is the Rip and Wrap. 2.5 inches, 1/2 ounce. So I have used these before. Great little lipless. You know, there's so many good liplesses on the market. You know, Cotton Cordell Spot if you want something cheap. The Red Eye Shad. You know, of course, the Rattle Trap, Bill Lewis Rattle Trap. But spring is a great time to throw these babies. You know, all the vegetation, everything hasn't grown up yet. So if, you know, you've normally got a pond where you can't throw treble hook baits, early spring is a great time to do that. Yo-yo them, you know, go back and forth with a yo-yo retrieve versus kind of a rip reel, or just kind of a straight burn. Vary up your retrieves. Man, the Lipless is such a good lure in the spring. It is definitely a fish catcher. Now, another question he asked in there was my most heartbreaking fish loss. You know, I don't have a ton that stick in my head, but one that I remember a couple years ago, it was a day where I was throwing a frog, and it just made me think of this looking over at this frog. I had caught a few good fish, like 3.5 pounders, and some of you probably remember, if you're an OG to the channel, I had a huge blow up. I don't know what it was. I set the hook, off, gone. Took my lure. I don't know if it was a big pike. If it was a bass, it made a huge swirl. You can tell a difference, you know, when like a little guy comes up and splashes versus a big, huge wake and boil. And this is with a big, huge wake and boil. So I still to this day don't know what it was. I thought it was a turtle because later on I had a snapping turtle chasing it. I went back and looked at footage and you could clearly see a tail. So I still tell myself it was just a turtle, but I think it was a really good sized bass. How big it was, I don't know. You know, it's always the ones that got away that you think is a 10-pounder, but that's one that still sticks with me to this day. And isn't it weird, like when you lose a good fish, it haunts you and you can't sleep at night. I hate it. Okay, next up, some soft plastics. Yeah, the rest are soft plastics in here. Good pick on this one. These are some that I picked up. You saw these in a unboxing not too long ago. This is watermelon gill. Now for some of the clear ponds and such around here, a clearish watermelon color does amazing. But this is that 6th Sense Flush, the jerkbait. So I grabbed, I think I only got one package of them from 6th Sense. The other ones that I ordered were on back order. Oh man, look at the colors in this guy. So you've got like a green pumpkin top. It's got kind of a barely pearlish see-through belly. And look at all that blue flake like in the front. It's got that reflective blue flake on the bottom and in the front. Dude, that color is mean looking. I'm interested to see what it does, you know, with those little fins that stick out the side. Is that gonna give it more of an erratic movement? Like I said before in the flush thing, I like that they actually put theirs in the clamshell so you don't have messed up, ridiculous looking tails when you take them out of the pack. That is my big complaint with Zoom flukes. That's why I honestly don't fish flukes a lot, but these look great. I'm excited to throw them. Stubby, what do you think? Those look great? Another question Burly asked was, what is one of your worst fishing experiences? So, you can see in my finger here, I do have a scar at the top of my finger. It's kind of hard to see, but I've got a scar there. I was getting ready one afternoon to go fishing. I think I was in like junior high. It had all my rods and stuff set out back. I was getting them ready on the back picnic table in my yard. And at that time, our dog Cassie, little Brittany, you know, very smart, good hunting dog, pheasant dog, but very, you know, very inquisitive. Wanted to know what I was doing. Had to be sniffing all my lures. She ended up sniffing a lure and come back and got a Zara spook in her nose, up in her nose. So she was yipping and, you know, pulling all my stuff around. So I was trying to grab her. I grabbed her by the nape of the neck with the one, then tried to grab the lure, and she put it in my finger. And luckily whoops, wrong finger. She put it in my finger. Luckily she ripped it out of her nose, so she had a little piece of her nose in the hook on the deal. It was an awful experience. I ended up going to the doctor. It was in there a good ways. My neighbor was gonna cut it out, and he come over with like rusty needle nose plier things. He's like, "Oh, I'll cut it out." My mom's like, "No, I'll just take him to the hospital." So it was an awful experience because they were brand new hooks. They tried a ring cutter, couldn't get it off. They didn't have any big bolt cutters. And my dang air compressor again, I forgot to turn it off. And we're done, thank you. Anyway, they had to end up deadening my finger and then actually slicing it with a scalpel, pulling it out, and I had to get stitches in it. So yeah, that was one that sticks in my mind for sure. Our dog had a chunk out of her nose for, really Stubby? Dog had a chunk out of her nose for the rest of her life, but she was a dang good dog. So that's one that will always stick with me. What else do we have in here? Okay. Ooh, good. I wanted to try these. I don't have any of these. Thank you so much, Burly. That's the goat in the deal. He even knew the color I liked. Have you watched some of my videos before, sir? People say we look like, if y'all didn't know, he's actually my unrelated brother. Check those out. These are the goat in I don't know, they've got different sizes of these. This is 3.75 inches. You get 4 in here, but of course, whoa, with the ZMan stuff, it's that real elasticy, real stretchy, good looking stuff. I like those. I have wanted to try those. It's almost like a Rage Menace versus, or like mixed with a toad of some sort. I don't know, really cool, but you can see it's got the paddle deals on back here. You break those apart. It's got the little paddly feet deals back here, so it's gonna work like a, you know, a horny toad or like a Rage Menace and plop. So you could fish it, you know, on a buzz bait. You could fish it on its own like this on a Texas rig. You could put it on a swim bait. There's a ton of stuff you could do with this dude. Really cool looking little color, or bait. I love the color, the deal. Sweet. I'm excited to try those. I've been wanting to get some and I haven't put a Tackle Warehouse order in for a while, so I'm excited to try those. ZMan's the Goat. Okay, last thing in the surprise $50 box challenge from Burly was Chase Baits. I have seen these, the Chase Baits Love Bug in green pumpkin chartreuse. That'll definitely work around here. Now the cool thing about these is it's almost like a squid mixed with like a craw deal, I guess you'd say. And they do have an interesting scent. Soft and lifelike, scented and salted. So you can see here it's got these really thin, almost looks like excess like plastic, like they messed up, but it's not. It's rippled. It's excess plastic comes out the side is rippled, so when it goes down, it almost looks like a squid. If you see the like when they show these in the tank, really cool looking little things. I don't think I've ever used anything from Chase Baits. Chase Baits the Love Bug, 4 inches. You get 6 in here. Rolling hood wings is what they call that on there. Rolling hood wings. So it looks like a squid's deal going through. It's got the claws. You know that of course they're gonna kick. It's got the little antenna like a craw. Really cool detail on it. I don't see any issues catching a fish or two on this thing. Definitely something that fish haven't seen. Gives it a different look. Might even look like a bluegill, you know, swimming down as it's going down. These are kicking him back like a tail, so you could really mimic like a crawfish or a bluegill, both. And it's kind of cool, I noticed on the back when I was showing you all, they show you different ways to rig it. So you could do Carolina rig, jig, Tokyo rig. I like kind of when they do that, they give you some ideas on there on how to rig it. So if you're new and you're picking it up, just kind of gives you some thoughts. But flip it, punch it, jig it. Oh, it says, built to hunt donkeys or finesse your favorite honey hole. Okay, so the last question we had was, what is your favorite lure in the box, and what do you think the hardest lure in the box will be to catch a fish on? I'm not gonna say it's the hardest, but I'm honestly the most excited to throw this. I don't know if I'm gonna catch a fish on it with it looking weird. It's got this dangly spinny thing on it. It's got these weird furry legs. I'm most excited to throw this, but at the same time I'm wondering, is this gonna catch fish like a normal frog would? Is the little shiny thing gonna offset them? Is the body not rotating around the hook gonna be a deal breaker? I don't know. I mean, it's just a really weird design glued in. On one side I can see it doing really well, It's a different look, but on the other side, I'm wondering how are my hook sets gonna be, because if you look at this when you push it down, that's the only thing that scares me. Look at that. That's all the room you have. This doesn't move. It's extremely flat. So my big concern with this is the hookup ratio on it's gonna be kind of garbage. I don't know for sure. The legs and everything look great. I don't even want to trim them just because they're so cool looking, but I might trim those up just a tad. But that's the only thing. That would be the only thing that makes me think this is going to be the hardest to catch a fish on. Now, of course, I could bend those hooks up, and with that little deal there on bottom, I could use it more as an open water thing. Stubby keeps smelling it. What? Think that's a squirrel or something? That would be the reason I would think this might be the hardest to catch a fish on, is the hookup ratio. So I will probably use this more in open water and bend those hooks up. That way I know I've got a little bit more meat there to hold the fish and grind them in. But Burly, you did a great job, man. This was actually a lot of fun. Comment below and let me know if you guys would like to see more collaborations like this, doing weird surprise unboxings. It just kind of puts a different spin, and it was actually really exciting for me because I had no clue what he was gonna put in here. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Today's subscribe fishing friend is you, Burly. Thanks for coming up with the idea. This was all his deal. He said, I want to collab, you know, with not being able to travel and stuff. What can we do? A surprise unboxing. He also loves the unboxing, so this is a lot of fun. Of course, with 18 feet of snow out there, I can't be out fishing. So a lot of fun. Make sure you go check out Burly's video. Like I said, I picked out a surprise box of stuff. I really don't even remember what I picked out, so his video will be dropping later today. Make sure you go check out his channel. I'll leave his channel linked below. Go check out his to see what I got him. I'm excited to see what his response is going to be to some of the things I threw in there. Stubby wants to be petted. Now he's a boy. He's a good boy, but he has to be down here with me whenever I'm shooting stuff. But he's such a, oh yeah, you need cuddles, don't you? Such a good boy. But that's it from us. Stubby, do you want to tell these nice people anything before we get out of here? No, I don't want kisses. He's a little gentleman. But that's it from Stubby and I. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember to go check out Burly's video. I'm going to do that so I can refresh on what I got. But thank you all so much for watching. Until next time.